Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Macayla. I'm an independently published author, and today we are talking all about events. So, a lot of people probably don't realize that independently published authors, when they want to do events around their area, they pay for a table fee, transportation, food while they're there, or maybe after or before. They pay for the books that they're bringing, their whole table setup, and any other miscellaneous expenses. So I thought I would break down my 2025 events list, how much I paid for the event, how many books that I sold, the amount of money that I made, and any other details that might go along with that. So, right now in 2025, I have 11 events set up with a few more that I'm working on getting on the calendar. It has been a pretty busy year. My goal was six, so I'm incredibly excited that I have even reached and surpassed that goal. My first event of the year was at a Barnes and Noble near my hometown in January. The Barnes and Noble signings are set up a little bit differently. Sometimes they will ask you to bring your own books and sell based off of a consignment rate, in which case you would split how much you make. And then the other way is they order your books via Ingram Spark and sell them at face value through their shop, but you get paid through Ingram for the books that they ordered. So the three Barnes and Noble signings that I'm about to tell you about, I opted for all of them to have them order the books because at the time I didn't have a lot of stock on hand, so it was just easier for me, and some of them were a little bit of a quick turnaround. So, for the first Barnes& and Noble signing, it didn't cost me anything to show up. I sold somewhere in the 30 book mark, somewhere between 25 and 35, and I made around $200 to $300. I can't exactly remember. And they ordered those books. So technically, I was paid via Ingram Spark, and that money comes through after 90 days. So because of Ingram's return rates, they have to wait that period. So 3 months later, I was paid for that signing at that Barnes and Noble. The next signing that I did was at a local independent bookstore in the Indianapolis area, and I did that one in February. They did not ask me to pay anything to show up and sign there, but we did split proceedings. I think they maybe took 10%, 20%, something like that, based off of their consignment rates. And I brought my own books. So they didn't have to pay anything to get my books, but people paid them to buy them. And then at the very end, we split up the money based off of their percentages. I think I sold around 15 to 20, and I think I made a little over $200. My next signing was another Barnes& and Noble here in town. That one was in March, and the store is considerably smaller than most Barnes& and Nobles. So I did not pay anything to show up. They ordered books, and I think I sold around 10 and made $50 to $100. All of the Barnes and Nobles that I'm talking about, I did have leftover stock and left them with the store and signed them, and they are arranged on tables and um, other shelves within their store that can still be sold at a later date. Then the week after that, I went back to a different Barnes and Noble, a bigger one this time. They ordered the books. I paid $0 to be there. I think I sold a little over 20 copies, and I made around $200. The next event I'm about to tell you about is considerably my largest event that I've been to this year. It was called the Indie Author Event. It's in Indianapolis, and I paid $250 for my table. It's a very large gathering of different authors from different places. People pay tickets to show up, and then they ideally buy books and other merch and get to chat with authors. So I paid $250 for my table. That included lunch, and it was an all-day event. I sold 19 copies. I did buy and bring my own. I can't remember how many copies I bought, maybe 40, but I do know I spent $400 on books. So already between this event, I've spent $650. Now, the nice thing about buying books is if you don't use them for an event, but you have other events signed up, you can just carry on those books. They don't expire. You can use them for an event at a later date. So I did sell 19 copies and I made $312. So for me as an independent author, I'm looking at that event and I'm thinking, I barely broke even. I just made a little bit of profit. And if you count the amount of money that I spent for books as a whole, I technically did not break even. So it's probably not an event that I will revisit in the future. My next event was a farmer's market. This one was so fun. It's a little bit different of an event. You don't typically see too many authors at farmers markets, but this one was in May. It was a $50 one-day fee. I brought my own copies and I ended up selling 20 books and I made $364. My next one was the Bookworm Ball here in Indianapolis in August. This one was so fun. This was my second year getting to go. The table fee was $85. I sold 20 copies and I brought my own and I made $356. Then, just in September, I did the farmer's market again because I had so much fun the first time. Because it was in September, it was considerably less busy of a day. So, I, of course, took that into account when I decided to sign back up. $50 for the day was the fee. I brought my own copies. I sold 10 books, including 3 pre-orders for my upcoming YA fantasy. And overall, I made a little over $215. Now, some other events that I have coming up for the rest of the year. Obviously, I can't tell you how much I've made at those events because I haven't done them yet, but I can tell you how much I've paid for them and the type of event that they are. So in October, I'm going to be part of the Meet an Author, Be an Author event at the Central Indianapolis Public Library. And it is free to show up. It's free for other people to show up and shop and attend workshops and meet authors, and I get to sell my books while I'm there. So I'm excited for that. I love an event where the fee is cheap or free because it guarantees, even if I sell one book, I'm going to make a profit. My next one is in November. It is a 2-day event called Enchanted Kingdoms. It's like a market fantasy fair with a whole bunch of different vendors and authors that are going to be there. For the 2 days, I paid $150 just for the event. I did have to book a hotel as well because it is just far enough away that driving back and forth didn't make sense. And I think I paid $170 for the hotel. Unfortunately, it is a home Notre Dame football game weekend, so prices were a little bit up there. But hopefully, I'm hoping that I can make a decent amount of money at that event considering that it is 2 days. Then the last one that I have on the calendar right now is called Cozy and Bookish. It's technically in Ohio, so that's so fun that I'm going to get to go to a different state for this one. And it's a 1-day event and I paid $120 for my table, and for all of those I will be bringing my own stock of books. I'm vending tonight for Indianapolis's Bookworm Ball, so I'm going to be selling my YA romantasy book and my fantasy short story collection tonight at the ball. So I figured we'd do a little pack with me while I get things together so that I can go set up my table. The first thing we're going to pack are these clear shelves. I really like to put books on top and then stickers and bookmarks underneath. The next thing we're going to pack is my tablecloth and my table runner. The table runner I made myself. It has my author branding details on it, and then it also has Macayla Dawn YA author on it so that when people look at my table they know what they're looking at. And then the tablecloth I always bring just in case. Some of these dining events provide a tablecloth for you. Some of them you need to bring your own, and I honestly can't remember for this one whether or not they're giving me one. So like I said, always bring it just in case. Next up, I have just a few little things that I always put on my tables. I have this book stand so that people can feel like they can reach and grab the book and read the back of it, check it out, flip through the pages. Next, I have this character art of my 2 main characters from my YA romantasy novel, The Mountain's Crown. That way people can see what the main characters look like, see if that's something that interests them. This next one, I have printed out a QR code for my website and for my Instagram. I have made a TikTok since I've made this, so eventually I'll update that. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then lastly, I have this bigger size poster printed of my book's cover with YA romantasy printed on the side. Next, we have table goodies. So I'm actually bringing something new to this event that I haven't brought to an event before. Because it's a fancy ball, I wasn't sure what the requirements are for what they're allowed to bring into the ball as far as bags go. And they're going to be dancing all night. So I want to give them a chance to be able to have a bag to put their things in after they buy a book or books. So these are just clear silver bags that I bought and that I'm going to take. And then as far as table goodies go, I have bookmarks that have a quote from my YA romantasy, The Mountain's Crown, on the front, and they act as a business card on the back, and they have my Instagram linked in a little picture of myself. I also bring a plethora of bookish stickers that I just lay out on the table and let people grab as they like. And then Sharpies, of course, so that I can sign their books and personalize them, whatever they'd like me to do. And lastly, my square reader. This is very vital and very important for an event like this. It is mostly cashless, so I just want to make sure that people are able to use whatever avenue that they need to, and I love this little thing. It's very handy. Lastly, and of course most important when it comes to an event where I am literally selling books that I've written, the books that I've written. Let's go ahead and pack those in the tote. So that is some little event tidbits, secrets as an independently published author. If you have any questions on any of these things, always feel free to reach out to me via Instagram or TikTok, or you can find my email in my description. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. See ya.